New Kia EV9. Kia has uncovered all relevant information about the Kia EV9, its initial 3-column electric lead SUV that brings crisp reasoning, plan, and innovation to the area and points the brand's quick change to a supportable versatility arrangement supplier in the period of charge. When is the Kia EV9 coming out? The delivery date for the Kia EV9 is set for the final quarter of 2023 when it goes discounted in the USA, despite the fact that US-based creation will start off in 2024 for those wanting to profit from potential duty refunds. Price and competition. This data stays speculative as the 2024 Kia EV9's cost hasn't been uncovered at this point. We can make a couple of determined surmises. In any case, the EV9 will be more rich and bigger than Kia's other electric model, the EV6, and a similar applies to the Telluride. As the EV6 begins at $48,700, we anticipate that the EV9 should start at around $55,000, and that relates with data gathered from a client overview released recently. Be that as it may, a hot EV9 GT could be extensively more costly, potentially drawing near to an expensive $75,000 MSRP. The EV9 is supposed to be collected in the US utilizing universally obtained parts, so basically a piece of government charge refunds ought to apply. Rivals in the USA will remember moderate-sized electric SUVs with premium identifications for the nose, like the Cadillac Lyriq and BMW iX, albeit the EV9 size, in light of the Idea EV9, at any rate, rides both the mid and standard size fragments. It ought to, subsequently, likewise end up being a commendable option in contrast to any semblance of the Mercedes EQS SUV, BMW iX7, and, surprisingly, base variants of the Hummer EV. Exterior and colors. There isn't anything bashful about the outside plan of the new Kia EV9 SUV, which effectively persists large numbers of the styling signals from the Idea. Like the Idea, the creation model has stout, square-shaped lines and a polygonal plan subject. Assuming that the Kia Soul was a center school understudy with a cool father, the EV9 would be that father. The particular profile is supplemented by complex lighting front and back. That incorporates the computerized tiger face with double groups of little shaped lights which are implanted in the bodywork close by every headlamp. The greater part of the great stuff is still there, including the belt line that scopes up nearby the third column. Significant bumpers and flush-fitting entryway handles characterize the side view, however the back-pivoted back entryways of the Idea are obviously supplanted here with additional customary back entryways. Modern 21-inch wheels are enclosed by Michelin tires, and these wheels have Askew Kia logos, another peculiar touch that in some way deals with the EV9. Kia takes note of that while choices range from 19-inch things the entire way to the 21-inch wheels we see here. The shutdown A support points give the EV9 a drifting rooftop impact, and there is a lively spoiler at the back. From the side, it's likewise outstanding the way that short the shades are, leaving however much space as could be expected for the traveler compartment. Two models, one with a customary shut rooftop and one with double sunroofs, have been envisioned. We likewise realize that the EV9 GT line gets raised rooftop rails, restrictive haggles, and model-explicit outside highlights. Many subtleties are yet to be affirmed, in any case, including the varieties that will be accessible for the Kia EV9. However, Kia noticed that there will be a decision of shine or processing plant matte completion paint choices. Dimensions. Aspects for the Kia EV9 incorporate a length of up to 197.4 inches, a level of 70.1 inches, and a width of 77.9 inches. This places it in a similar size class as the Kia Telluride, albeit a touch longer. We accept the Idea's wheelbase estimation of 122 inches as tantamount to the creation model. Control weight figures are obscure, yet taking into account its completely electric powertrain and size, this is probably going to be the heaviest Kia model yet. Taking into account that the Telluride as of now weighs just about 4,500 pounds in its heaviest appearance, the 2024 EV9 is probably going to come in at more than 5,000 pounds without any problem. Engine and performance. Although confirmed to ride on the same electric global modular platform, EGMP, as the smaller EV6, the EV9 will be the first model from the brand to use 4th-gen battery tech. It will be available in two powertrain options, a standard 76.1 kWh battery with 215 horsepower sent to the rear wheels or an optional upgrade to a 99.8 kWh battery which comes with either a single motor or as a dual motor setup. With two motors, you get 379 horsepower and 516 pounds-to-foot of torque as well as torque vectoring all-wheel drive. Specs for the single-motor setup are still unknown, but Kia has confirmed that the most potent dual-motor configurations target a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 5 seconds. Base models are likely to take almost double that to complete the benchmark sprint. While that may sound a little disappointing for an EV, we like that Kia seems to have invested in a base model to keep the starting price somewhat palatable. Besides, this is a family vehicle, not a sports car. The base model gives off an impression of being unrated for towing, however the automaker takes note of that there is an ability to tow up to 5,000 pounds accessible in the reach we expect with the most remarkable powertrain in AWD. The last option figure is in Telluride domain yet will without a doubt lessen range essentially. Range, charging, and battery life. The Idea EV9 guaranteed a range of up to 300 miles, and Kia expresses that for the creation of the EV9, the 99.8 kWh battery and single-engine arrangement will match that. As of late, Spill Data has proposed that the creation of the EV9 will have a scope somewhere in the range of 220 and 290 miles, so it's most likely the case that the double-engine models will have a reach more in accordance with the previous figure. The battery can be recharged from 10 to 80% in less than 25 minutes on account of its 800V electrical engineering. The EV6 has a similar charging speed yet requires a faster 18 minutes to get its battery from 10 to 80%. Obviously, this is on the grounds that the EV9 will have a bigger battery. The Idea EV9 has a hood vent channel region with a sunlight-powered charger that can recover a modest quantity of energy. However, it's muddled assuming the creation variant will hold this usefulness. EPA evaluations are some way off, so the MPG specs are obscure. All things considered, weighty electric SUVs aren't particularly proficient, as confirmed by the BMW iX's best MPG figure of 86 mph consolidated. The 3-column Tesla Model X is a superior benchmark for Kia to hold back nothing, 102 mph consolidated. Interior and cargo. The movements within the production of the Kia EV9 are more huge than the outside. Nonetheless, this isn't anything surprising since the thought was exceptionally revealed inside. Seats in the Kia EV9 will really need to accommodate 6 or 7 occupants, contingent upon the trim or the state of affairs organized, and the maker ensures loose space in each line. Not at all like most other 3-section vehicles, there is more prominent adaptability here to the extent that the seats can be set up. This limit is drifted by the EGMP stage, which engages a level floor and long wheelbase. Occupants in both the underlying 2 segments can recline their seats simultaneously, yet the turning second-line seats we found in the thought won't be perceived on creation models bound for the US. Regardless of the way that it would truly loosen up the climate, that game plan doesn't meet the public authority's motor vehicle security standards. The floating dashboard setup is available day and night, and the rich, fair tones used in the model envisioned here give it an upmarket look. The maker puts vigorous effort into communicating that, figuratively speaking, historic materials will be used, naming non-cowhide polyurethane seating, sans BTX inside trim, reused surfaces, and animal-free things as decisions. Kia says there are double 12.3-inch touchscreens, which is strange since the presentation in front of the driver is commonly not a touch show. These screens are incorporated with a 5-inch fragment show. There are hard controls for the environment control and volume agent beneath the air vents, however, and tri-zone environment control is standard. The EV9 can likewise be utilized as a power source, and it has a coordinated charging control unit and outlets that can drive outside gadgets. An imperative introduction on the EV9 is the brand's LiDAR-based Progress Parkway Driving Help and Path Following Help, which we expect will be discretionary and potentially standard on top trims. We realize that Roadway Driving Help 2 will be prepared across the reach. A broad setup of security elements and driver helps will be standard, close by 10 airbags. Concerning freight space in the Kia EV9, 20.2 cubic feet is standard behind the third column, with the most extreme measure of freight volume being 81.93 D-shapes when the 2 lines are collapsed down. For reference, the also lengthy Telluride has 21 cubic feet of volume behind the third column. Kia likewise talked about the extensive mid-control area extra room.